graduate student address will be given by Katheryn Nina Kiktugiaq Nenneman, graduating with her bachelor's degree in social work.
Alrighty, good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to take a minute to welcome our distinguished guests, our KUC and UAF faculty, our graduates, family and friends. Kuiana for joining us today for KUC's 2021 graduation ceremony. I'd like to take a moment and introduce myself. My name is Katheryn Nina Kiktugiaq Nenneman. I was born in Kotzebue, but raised here in Bethel. I am the proud daughter of Bruce and Evelyn Day, the wife to Brian, and the mother to Kuskokwim Nenneman. Kuiana for joining us today. Today is a day of celebration, a day to celebrate all the graduates' time, efforts, sacrifices each and every one of them has made in order to obtain their certificates, their degrees, or honorable awards. Congratulations to all of you. What an amazing accomplishment and such inspiration we have before us today. It is an absolute honor to speak before you. If we look at where we are at today with all that we have gone through, I know I'm not the only person to say that this year has been an extremely tough year. Surviving a global pandemic has been challenging, to say the least. We have dealt with heartache, frustration, isolation, stress, anxiety, loss, and fear. But I think of all that we have gone through and learned, we've also proven to be resourceful and resilient. Again, you are all so amazing. I look back at the journey that it took to get me here today, and I'm in awe. I graduated from high school here in Bethel. I went to an out-of-state university with dreams and aspirations of becoming a veterinarian. It was there I quickly realized I was not ready for college. Academically, I was prepared, but mentally I was not. Leaving my home of the YK Delta was exciting, thrilling, and fun. But it was also scary. I learned rather quickly that the Western education system, in that system, I was no longer a person but a number. When you're in a psychology class with 350 students in a giant auditorium, that is exactly what you are, a number. That was a hard concept for me to grasp when I grew up in a community and region that exemplifies connections. Connections to our land, our people, our culture, and our history. I had no connections in Colorado, and I was lost. However, in 2004, I came home. Came home for the summer, but I quickly realized that my roots were still firmly planted here. I found a job and a career that I loved, but I wanted and needed to finish school. So I enrolled in our wonderful KUC. Classes taught by so many wonderful adjunct and faculty professors, past and present. Economics and history class taught by the beloved Jolie Morgan and William Updegrove. English and literature taught by the enthusiastic Benjamin Kuntz. Psychology courses taught by Dr. Valerie Warren and our beloved Dr. Diane McAkron. These are just a few local faculty that helped ensure our successes today. We know it's not always easy balancing work in school, but it's manageable. I took breaks. I started a family. I had a couple babies, but I went back to it. I didn't give up. While completing my studies following a Western guided education system, my family and friends were taking classes and graduating from the Rural Human Services program, being taught around Indigenous teaching modalities. I was completely in awe in the transformation that was happening in their lives in front of me. As a helping professional, I naturally gravitated towards a degree in social work with the hopes and aspirations of finding something as important as my family and friends had found. And it was in August of 2015 that I was accepted into the UAF Bachelor of Social Work program. What a life-changing experience. When you gather a bunch of women and men together who are of different ages, different regions, and from different ethnicities, all in the same academic and career path and journey, with a common goal to help people, amazing things can happen. To be able to attend sessions that ensure that elders are always present is powerful. Elders being there to start our days in a good way, who always say the most beautiful and relevant things at the very moment we seem to need them most, is profound. To have professors that show and teach us about having the courage to engage in the difficult conversations about how historical trauma and systemic racism is so prevalent that we need to rise up and advocate for change is truly inspiring. Having a professor like Dr. Laverne Dementif remind us of the 5 C's, compassion, care, curiosity, connection, and culture, as a way of being is truly magical. These are some of the amazing outcomes of our education systems here in rural Alaska. I want to encourage everyone to have the courage and curiosity to find your path and start your journey, because it's never too late. I want to remind our youth that getting their diplomas or GEDs and attending a trade school is just as important. I want our youth to return home with certificates, degrees, and be the change they want to see. I want to let parents know that there are resources and assistance for youth and adults alike to obtain a higher education that they dream of. You just need ask. I want to encourage you all to be curious and find your calling, even if it's scary or uncomfortable. I also want to share that some of the individuals that you meet on these journeys will forever hold a special place in your heart. I have formed some of the strongest connections and friendships these last 6 years. Connections and friendships I will nurture and have forever. You girls are so amazing, and doing this with you has been an absolute blessing. I will miss our cohort trips, late night shenanigans, rolling down UAF's grassy knolls. So many memories. And in closing, I have a lot of thanks to give. Thank you to AVCP and YKHC for investing, mentoring, and pushing me to do more and be more these last 16 years. Koyana to all KUC, UAF faculty and staff for the amazing teaching and support. Diane, Richenda, Laverne, and Christina, you all make learning so fun and heartwarming and memorable. And just know that these words don't adequately describe your ability to encourage, teach, and lead. So I feel that I'm falling short in my words of gratitude. I want to thank my family and friends for never giving up on me and pushing me to do better and be better. My parents for the unconditional love and support. My sister Shannon for helping my boys with their educational journey this past year while I concentrated solely on work and school. My husband Brian for being my rock, to encourage me to live and thrive while reminding me to stay grounded and true is truly an inspiration. And last but not least, my sons Hunter and Teague for reminding me the importance day in and day out to be kind, generous, and to help others, because our world would be a much better place with people who put others before themselves. In closing, just remember the great words of K.T. Witten. Your dreams doesn't have an expiration date. Take a deep breath and try again. Koyana and Teku, everyone, for joining us and allowing me to speak before you today. It's been an absolute honor. Koyana.